Hey, I'm Birdman.
I'm Bruce.
Time to get on target at
The Hub.
take 2.
Here we are. It just seems like we've just been here.
Yeah, well, that's because we're just here because, yeah.
Anyway, so here we are. So we're going to shoot again today. We haven't shot for a couple weeks.
Right. We got this little cool, why don't you give it a little rundown on this thing real quick first.
Yeah, let's talk about this gun. This is the Charter Arms, and it's actually, people that don't know, it's called their Pitbull model. They make actually 3 different calibers, and all of them are basically semi-automatic calibers. Which means,
semi-automatic. Okay.
Yeah, which means like they make a 40, and they make also a 9, and then this one is a 45 ACP.
And this has got a cool thing because it's 45 ACP, so that's...
with no moon clips. In fact, there's no moon clips on their 9 and no moon clips on their 40. So it's a nice design.
Right.
For people that know when we're talking about moon clips, you have to load them and unload them off the clip. This one, you just push them in, and we'll show how it's a little bit of a difference pushing them in at the beginning.
So let's show the shoot first.
Okay.
How's your hand feeling?
My hand hurts. Actually, it's not as bad as it did a half hour ago.
Yeah.
Interesting. Let's talk about this gun because, again, and not to make too many excuses, because we just shoot guns the first time, and then they either shoot or they don't shoot.
Right.
The grip
So
on
don't pick on his shooting in this one because I got to tell you, I already said I'm not a fan. It's just too much. It's really lightweight. Okay. Yeah. I think it's too much caliber for, and you're gonna have the guys out there that are like, oh, you're just not man enough.
I mean, I got 44 mags that are lightweight too and stuff. The difference is this grip has absolutely no play in it. And the ammo, the 45 ACP we have is plus P,
right,
which means it's going to be a little bit more kicky. But you can just see in that video how hard this thing kicked, and hard for me to keep it on target. And I'm supposed to be known to have a grip because we teach the grip here. So it's even worse for me to have to do this. And so it's an embarrassment. So it's just a different gun. I think it needs to have different grips, and we're gonna score it,
right,
and talk about it. But the idea that they did this without moon clips, it's very simple. Charter Arms don't break. Of course, they're not machined like a Colt or something.
Right.
But they don't break. They built extremely well.
So this is like, to me, it's it's solving a problem that nobody asked to be solved. 45. The caliber got created for semi-automatics. It didn't need to be created. I don't know. To me, it's just.
I have that one large revolver made by Smith, but it's an end frame.
Yeah.
And it's heavier.
So how did it score?
So let's get the score. Okay. And again, this is the Charter Arms. It's called their Pitbull, and this one's in 45 ACP, which stands for Automatic Colt Pistol, which means it has no rim. It's really designed for a magazine.
Right.
So when you put them in a gun like it's a revolver, I have a Smith that takes moon clips, which is a little bit of a pain to load and unload the moon clips, a little bit. This one doesn't need that, which is really unique. It doesn't need the moon clip, but it is kind of light, and the grip could be different, and so we'll get into how it shoots. We usually have an experience level on all these guns, 1 to 5 for revolvers, 5 to 10 for semis, automatics.
Right.
So this is a 1 to 5 because it's a revolver, but we're going to give it a 4, and you could argue it probably should have a 5.
I think because of the lightweight and the way
it barks, a little bit of a bark to it. So did it meet its standard? So we're going to give it a 5 only because it really didn't meet the standard for us shooting it the first time. Now, we could buy a grip for it and change it. We'd go practice with it, but that's not what we do here.
And even if you try to put this in a different category to make the standard be met higher, it's still not, like Woods Defense, it's almost going to be a 4. It's just not going to, yeah.
Especially if you put the hot loads in it, you'd have to really play with the grip, which we all know. If you shoot a gun the first time and it feels okay, you can usually get better at it faster than having to adapt to it. As much as I love revolvers, especially how much as I love these, because one of my first guns was a Bulldog 44. So shootability, we're going to give it the 5 for the same reason.
Okay.
Power factor is a 10 because we give 45 ACPs a 10. Ammo cost is an 8. It used to be probably a 7, but now that 45 ACPs are like $14.95 a box of 50, they're getting down there. This one sells for used at $3.99 and new it was $4.99. So it's got a really good value. We'll give it a high score for that. Function reliability, of course, we can't take away from the fact that these things work.
Yeah.
And I never, in a couple years I've been doing this, I've never seen a broken Charter Arms.
Right.
And they even advertise that their firing pin can't be broken. And nobody's ever seen one that was broken. So maybe they got something going for it. This one, a little bit more specialized, how we make it nice. Call it a little bit more specialized. Intuitive safe handling, of course, is still a revolver, double action single, so these get a 10.
Love those.
Carry options, we go back a little bit to 8, only because in order to do this, the cylinder's larger. Charter Arms only made 2 size revolvers. They made their normal one, which was a 38 and a 22 and things like that.
Right.
Then they made their little larger one, which was a 44 Bulldog. Now this is even larger. It's even a larger frame for the ACP. So carry options, you're still going to need a holster, but it may be harder to find holsters for it because it doesn't fit in the regular holster. So carry options 8. We already know what retail new for $4.99. The resale, since it's at $3.99, I can't see you ever losing any money on it. There's always going to be somebody that wants to tame this.
Right.
It's like learning to shoot a snub nose all over again. So resale, we're going to give it a 10. Got high value. We're going to give it a score of 86. And we put some asterisks on here, which they'll see on the sheet that you put out. And I think that's because I would love to have shot it without having, and then you brought up the point that everything we shoot is
Yeah, it was like,
the
should we shoot it
lead-free.
again? I'm like, nope, one in, one out.
Because we shoot the 1911s with the same ammo. We shoot everything else with the same ammo. So this was a handful, and it was interesting. So we're going to give it an 86 score. We could have wished it was a little bit higher.
So the Charter Arms Pit Bull.
And it's not going to break, and they're $399 used. I mean, this is a heck of a point of the used gun.
Yeah. So it's kind of specialized. To me, it's sort of like, if you compared guns to cars, this is like buying a DeLorean. You get it because it looks cool, but not because you're really going to use it a whole lot. I mean, I don't see anybody. Somebody's going to go out and prove me wrong and be like, oh no, you can conceal carry this every day. It's perfectly fine.
You could probably conceal carry, but the problem is if you're not going to get the accuracy out of it with the right ammo, then you're better off with a little bit less of ammo and a little bit more accuracy.
Right.
Because if you're carrying a 500 and you're only going to get one shot off, but it's a 500, that's different. But since this is a 45, I think you might be better off with a semi-automatic like a 1911.
It's the Pit Bull from Charter Arms.
And it's, well, we didn't get the grade. This is kind of the lowest grade we've given one lately.
But that's good to see.
But it's still a good gun.
Yeah.
It didn't get it because it's going to break and not work.
Right.
Okay,
Hey, so make sure you're checking out the website, thehubaz.com. Check out the Facebook pages, Instagram, all of that. Stop on here in Lakeside and check them out. And then also in Tucson.
That's right.
Hey.
The new store.
So it's the Hub.
It's actually a new store. It's been there like 10 months now.
10 months now. It's almost not new.
11
It's almost
months,
almost worn off the new. So get down there before it's not
Before
new.
it doesn't, before you have to refresh in the paint.
Right. Hey, I'm Birdman.
And I'm Bruce. Be safe.
Hey, tell them.
Pledge break. I think it's time. This is not a spring pledge break. It has to be a fall, wouldn't it? Halloween.
We're falling into Halloween.
Yeah. And they're going to get a free pumpkin and stuff?
Yeah, whatever.
Without shipping.
And
Subscribe.
thanks for the comments, too.
We appreciate it.